Welcome back to the Grambling State Dynasty, guys. Our Tigers hit the road this week to take on the 1-3 Arkansas Razorbacks, and it was a shootout. First quarter action, GSU driving, King drops back and hits Edwards on the outside. He puts the corner in the spin cycle, and he is gone. Sean Edwards goes 66 yards to the house. Touchdown, Grambling! Tigers strike first, 7-0. But the Razorbacks look to answer. Harper takes the pitch right. Gets blown up in the backfield by Chris Forwarda. Then Woodard would go to the air, connected with Manson behind the jam for 23 yards. Next play, Harper takes a delay up the gut, finds some space, and picks up 16. Several plays later, Woodard keeps the option left and walks into the end zone. We're knotted up at 7. Tigers take back over. King goes back to the air, and he's going deep. He hits Antonio Walker downfield for 28 yards. Then King with the deep drop. And look at this throw to Cox on the sideline for 22. His arm is way too strong. A few plays later, Joe Thomas would punch it in from 4 yards out. Touchdown, Grambling! Tigers lead 14-7. But here come the Razorbacks. Woodard with the deep drop and throws a rope to Roden on the outside. And he gets upfield for 23. Later in the drive, Harper takes the handoff, follows his blockers, and gets into the end zone. We're tied again at 14-all. Back and forth we go. King drops back, and his Rod Bradford wide open, and the big tight end gains 19 yards. Then JT gets going. He takes the handoff up the middle and bulldozes his way to 9 yards. 2 plays later, King goes back to the air, tries to force a pass to Walker, but gets picked off by Gibson. Terrible read by the junior, but the Razorbacks couldn't capitalize. Tigers take back over. King hits Paxton on the drag. He gets popped and would stay down. Jordan Paxton would miss the rest of the game. Then Thomas takes the handoff, bounces it outside, follows his blockers, and gains 9. And here comes the passing game. King drops back and drops an absolute dime to Cox on the sideline, and he gets the Tigers inside the red zone. Next play, King drops back and tries to force a pass to Bradford and is picked off again by Gibson. That's his second INT on the day, but Arkansas could not capitalize. GSU takes back over. King goes back to the air, hitting Edwards on the curl. He spins and is gone. Sean Edwards goes 38 yards to the end zone. Touchdown, Grambling. What a move by the junior. But Woodard wouldn't be outshined. He hits Richard Mitchell on the slant for 16. A few plays later, Harper takes a delay, breaks a tackle, jumps and flips his way to the first. Later in the drive, Woodard drops back and lobs it to the outside for McLeod, and he sneaks into the end zone. It's tied 21 apiece. GSU's offense back on the field. King throws a rope to Bradford for 15. Then Kevin Easley takes the counter right, follows his blocker, spins, shoves off a defender, and picks up 27. Next play, King drops back and hits Easley wide open over the middle, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Grambling! It's 28-21 in the first half. But here come the Hogs. Harper finds a huge hole up the middle. He turns on the Jets and powers his way to 24 yards. Then the big running back gets it again on the delay. He gets the edge, weaves through traffic, and is finally brought down after gaining 19. Next play, Woodard goes play action, rolls to his right, and throws a rope to Mitchell on the comeback for 16. A few plays later, Woodard finds Manson wide open in the back of the end zone, and like that, we're tied up again. GSU back on offense. King drops back and hits Easley on the angle route, and he spins ahead for 8. Then Chris continues to carve up the secondary, connected with Sean Edwards for 13 more. A few plays later, Thomas takes the handoff, finds a lane up the middle, and picks up 14. Later in the drive, King threads the needle to Edwards over the middle, and he does the rest. Touchdown, Grambling! That's Edwards' third TD on the day. 48 ticks left for Arkansas. Woodard with the drop back and throws a rope to Manson for 11. Then check out this throw. Woodard hits Harper with the high ball, and he's able to pick up 19. A few plays later, Woodard with the drop back. He loads up, and he's going deep, and he hits Mitchell behind the defense. Touchdown, Arkansas. What a pitch and catch by the Hogs. Ensuing kickoff, freshman Eric Rogers back deep, and he's bringing it out. He starts up the seam, gets 2 great blocks, and he turns on the burners. Eric Rogers goes 106 yards to the house. Touchdown, Grambling! The freshman making big moves. And that finally takes us to the half with Grambling State leading 42-35. Talk about neither defense is showing up. If you love offense, then this is the game for you. 77 points scored in 16 minutes. Unreal. Grambling State offense has to keep scoring because it's obvious the defense cannot slow down this Razorback O. Start of third, Woodard comes out throwing, hitting Manson on the outside. He gets upfield and picks up 9. A few plays later, Woodard keeps the play action. He slides right and hits Newton streaking down the sideline. He gets away from Hall and picks up 33. But Woodard would get a little too greedy. He tries to force a pass on the sideline, but gets picked off by Ron Bennett. Finally, the G-men get a stop. And GSU would come out running. Thomas finds a nice lane up the middle, cuts and picks up 9. Then King drops back and hits Edwards on the outside. He spins away, turns upfield, gets popped and fumbles out of bounds after gaining 20. Then King shows off his touch. Look at this deep ball to Sean Edwards on the sideline for a huge gain. And JT would cap off the drive with this 5-yard run. Touchdown Grambling! Tigers lead up to 14. But the Razorbacks won't go away. Harper takes a delayed left, finds a lane, and picks up the first. Then it worked so nice the first time, why not do it again? Harper showing off his quick feet and picking up 16. A few plays later, Woodard would go back to the air and connects with Mitchell across the middle for 14. Later in the drive, the junior QB with the 3-step drop and hits Newton. He stumbles and keeps his balance and gets into the end zone. Hogs cut into the lead. Tigers take back over, easily takes the counter right, finds some space, puts the safety in the spin cycle, and gets upfield to pick up 22. Then King looks to go deep, but underthrows Edwards and is picked off by Williams. That's INT number 3 on the day for the junior quarterback. But the Razorbacks will be forced to punt. Rogers is back deep. He starts left, cuts it back right, catches a block, cuts inside, then back outside, and he is gone. The freshman goes 81 yards to the house. Touchdown Grambling. Have yourself a day, Eric Rogers. Arkansas takes over. Woodard drops back, tries to step up, but gets hit and fumbles. Brown scoops it up, and look at the big man rumble ahead for the first. Then Woodard would keep the option right, sheds a tackle, and another. And look at the caravan of blockers, but Hall makes the TD saving tackle. But the Hogs would score on the next play. Woodard finds Manson wide open in the end zone, and he gets the touchdown, lead back down to 7. But the G-men's passing game was on fire. King drops back and hits Cox across the middle for 18. Then Joe Thomas takes the trap right, finds a ton of running room and gains 12. Next play, King goes back to the air and finds Rob Bradford across the middle for 15. Later in the drive, Thomas powers his way into the end zone for the 3rd time today. Touchdown Grambling. Tigers break 60. But Woodard isn't shook. He connects with Mitchell on the sideline for 11. Then the big QB goes back to the air, steps up in the pocket, throws it deep, but gets picked off by Chris Fawarda, and he's got a lot of room in front of him. He tries to cut it back inside, gets tripped up. Another great stop by the G-men's defense. And the Tigers look to put it away. King hits Bradford one-on-one with the safety for 22. Then easily takes the handoff up the middle, gets some great blocking and picks up 14. 2 plays later, easily fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown Grambling. And that would do it. Both teams will score another touchdown, but GSU wins the shootout 77-63. Take a look at these insane numbers. King threw for 520 yards and 5 touchdowns. Both Thomas and Easley both went over 100 yards rushing, and Sean Edwards went insane. 7 grabs for 209 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Woodard had an historic day. 591 yards passing and 8 total touchdowns. In all, 140 points were scored and over 1,600 yards were gained. Glad this one is over, not gonna lie. But our Tigers move to 5-0 and have to get ready for Mississippi State. Thanks for watching, guys. Coming up in the Tigers Den podcast, we recap this insane game and welcome the newest members to the recruiting class. So hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new, and I'll talk to you soon. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.